Shout out to the Carolina Hurricanes. I talk a lot about excuses and reasons. The Canes have reasons if they wanted to let a few slip through their fingers. A few games that maybe they had in their grasp and it doesn't work out. They have reasons. Every game, it seems like a defenseman gets hurt, or at least every other game. Charles Alexis Legault, by the way, next up, sliced his hand open, hospital stay, all those sort of things. Yet they beat Buffalo 6-3 on Saturday. They beat Toronto 5-4 on the road on Sunday, which is a tough back-to-back. And yeah, they had reasons. Right? They wouldn't be making excuses. You wouldn't be looking at them like, oh, you're just whiny baby. If you said, the guys are having to play a ton of minutes. They're having to change up their pairings. They're having to do all of these things. They've got 3 goalies rotating in goal. Like if you wanted to say, yeah, you know what, you get a couple freebies, they're winning anyway. And it's about their mental toughness. Winning both of those games is a sign of what they've built in that locker room. And not just the talent, although that plays into it, right? When you need a spark in a tough stretch and Sebastian Aho gets to score both goals and Andrei Svechnikov on Saturday sets up Aho with one of the best moves we've seen Andrei Svechnikov make this year. Like, that's not, oh, how mentally tough are you? Like, some guys can't do that because they don't have the skill, right? It's the old joke about dunking from the free throw line. The other players on the court aren't watching that going, why didn't I think of that? Right? It's just they can do it and I can't, right? There's certain talent levels on the Canes that are impressive, and then there's the mental side, and it's equally as impressive to me. If I'm Rod Brindamore, I'm very, very proud. Like a mother goose or something, right? Just looking at these hatchlings that have grown into super mentally tough hockey players.
By the way, we did see Eric Robinson and William Carrier come back into the lineup this weekend as well. So they played both Saturday and Sunday, which is refreshing to see those guys back in the lineup.
Made the forwards a bit more easy to deal with. Meaning like they weren't scraping and duct tape and chewing gum holding things together. Meanwhile, the blue line still is.
Yeah, blue line's still struggling a little bit. I actually talked to, I filled in doing Storm Watch for Adam Gold on Saturday. And I talked with Trip Tracy as part of the pregame, Canes color analyst. And I asked him about Robinson and Carrier coming back into the lineup because these are bigger body guys that get heavy on the forecheck and all those things. And he had brought up an interesting stat to Trip Tracy, is that through the first 13 games of the season, the Canes had scored 20 goals on the rush, which is a lot. And because you had some of the bigger body guys like Carrier and Robinson out of the lineup, you had to adapt your game a bit, especially with the injuries also on the blue line as well, is that they were scoring and generating a lot on the rush. But now with Carrier and Robinson in, it allows them to get back to that identity of being a heavy forecheck team. And you actually saw on Saturday a microcosm of that, because you saw that very first goal you mentioned on the play by Svech to Aho. Beautiful play. That was off the rush. But then later on, you saw a goal by Kotkaniemi where it was Carrier, Stahl, Martinook, heavy on a forecheck in the second period. All 5 guys on the ice change while still keeping the puck in the zone. And then it's Robinson and Kotkaniemi in that line out there. And then sure enough, Nyström jumps in the play, fresh legs, finds Kotkaniemi, one-timer goal. So you're able to score in both ways. And it's going to be nice for Carolina that they have the skill set to be able to do both. And
first of all of that, excellent analysis, but I would add doing that with 2 guys that are fresh off and Nyström, who's a rookie, and having the chemistry to make those switches. All right, this guy was here, I'm picking up there. Here's where I need to be on the ice, knowing where they are and leading to it. That doesn't happen with a team who doesn't have everybody ready to make a play. That doesn't happen with a rookie whose head is spinning or a rookie who's so nervous that the veterans are going to say he did something wrong, right? It's a culture thing, and it matters. And then to go in the next game, right? To go from Saturday's game, Buffalo at home, to on the road, Toronto, which is a different challenge in and of itself, just team to team. But then you throw out, the Canes didn't have their best hockey the entire game, right? They didn't. They got behind. They had to come back. They had to scratch and claw. And to walk out of that one with a win is it's just commendable. And it gives you so much confidence for when Jacob Slavin comes back. Like, it's not like they're missing scrubs. Jacob Slavin is one of their best players. Right? When Jalen Chatfield, who is underrated as heck, comes back. When Shane Gostisbehere, who does look like he's on the way back. It's unbelievable. Right? When those guys get back, you're going to be so much more confident because you did all of this without them. I hope that they don't have to keep proving their mental fortitude. I hope they get some easy wins where they're up, 5-1 and Slavin has them locked down and Gostisbehere scored 2 on a power play and it's all just gumdrops and roses. I hope they get there. But let's be real. What happens in the postseason? Bleep happens in the postseason, right? A guy gets hurt. Right? The opposing team has a goalie standing on their head. Your special teams go quiet. Whatever it is, like in the postseason over a long series against a good team, you're going to be dealt some bad hands. You're going to be dealt some bad hands. And they're going to go, yeah, we've been dealt bad hands. We dealt with it. It's one thing to think you can do it. It's another to show you can. Let's hear from Rod Brindamore. He was asked about seeing more injuries, obviously talking about the Legault injury, and still being able to execute.
I've never seen anything like it, to be honest, in all my days. I mean, you get injuries, a couple here or there, but to this degree, it's just been the way it's gone. So, but it's impressive for me. It's just how we found ways to get it done. And tonight was kind of everybody, right? Like that's the way it has to be. And that's how we're built, really, too. So, that came kind of to the fruition tonight, right? That's what you saw.
It's just, again, I've made the joke. It's stereotypically hockey to me, right? You can have good players get hurt, and it's just, oh man, gotta go execute. You have 1,000 rookies playing on a blue line of one of the most demanding systems for a defenseman. Yeah, they're just going to go play well. It's good to see. And I try to get into more of like the hockey X's and O's and this line and that line and, who played well. And Jarvis has, 10 goals, second fastest of any Kane in the last 15 years. Like there's a lot we could get to. Which goal is soft and not by the guys in net. We could do that, but I don't think that's what's deciding games for the Canes right now. I think it's you have Taylor Hall rejuvenated, and he's going to score a goal late in a game to give his team a boost. Right? I think it's you have Aho understanding it's the second half of a back-to-back and everyone's tired, and Sean Walker is playing 24 minutes a night, and Aho's like, no, I'll score the first. And Svetch is waking up. Doesn't it feel like a million years ago, that we were counting how many games to start the season Svetch didn't have a point? Now he's playing really good hockey. Nikolai Ehlers, same thing. For everybody that when Nikolai Ehlers scored his first goal of the year, and we made a big deal about it, and we had a bunch of listeners telling us it's just one goal, he's still not on pace for. He has played great since getting that weight off his shoulders. Not to mention he's tallied a bunch of points. They're a team that is looking like they have the DNA to overcome things. Now, you're going to need the luck to get healthy again. I'm not saying that's not important, but those 2 games were wildly fun. Wildly fun. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, we do have the starting 5 coming up.
By the way, a quick note here.
Yep.
Regarding the Carolina Hurricanes. Last 7 games, so basically like the second half of the games they've played this season, 28% on the power play.
28's not awful.
No, 28's actually really, really good. It's actually 28.6.
Hey, that's not 9%, which is what I feel like everyone treats their power play like it is performing.
They've scored power play goals in 3 of the last 4 as well.
Maybe I need to stop because
just saying.
I keep saying every time they score a power play goal, I go, and bonus points for it being on the power play. Maybe they're now good enough that you don't need to reward them with the extra credit. Still, actually, no, I'm not changing anything. If they're improving, I'm not superstitious, but I'm also not going to tempt fate. I'm not going to change it just to change it.